Welcome back to another mini episode. We're here Monday after the Super Bowl. So we got to first start. Mandy, were you watching the Super Bowl? Yes.
I
Who are you
watched it.
rooting for? What do you think of the game specifically?
Okay, well, hi everybody. Happy mini episode. We're having a technical. I'm just gonna say what it is, Amani. We're having some sort of technical thing right now where my voice is coming over super loud. And Amani, if you're not watching, if you're just listening, poor Amani is just putting his hands on his ears. Like it's too much. It's too much Mandy in my ear holes right now.
Yes,
So,
yes.
sorry, but yeah, we'll figure that out later. I did watch the Super Bowl and I always watch the Super Bowl. I love it. I'm into the game, but as a, former meeting producer, I also love to watch how do they do this? How do they do these live events? Like
Hmm.
I'm looking at lighting, I'm looking at staging, I'm looking at what's coming out of the field and off the field. I'm looking at camera angles, like a from a production standpoint. The Super Bowl is a feast for the eyes for me. Like, what are you looking at? I mean, obviously you're looking at the game, but what else are you looking at when you're watching the Super Bowl?
I watched the commercials. So for sure, I watched
Mhm.
all the commercials, the halftime
Mhm.
show. So I was particularly interested in this halftime show because I'm an Usher fan. So that was
Mhm.
good. Um, what else do I watch? Just like I'll pay attention to the halftime show. I listen to the announcers to see how they do.
Mhm.
Um, what else? I like to pay attention to like especially because this was in Vegas and I live in Vegas, so I would like to pay attention to the shots of the city that they shared.
Mhm.
Um, those are some of the things I look at.
Well, let's kind of take this piece by piece, if that's cool with you. First things
Cool.
first, living in Vegas, what was the energy and the vibe of this city this past weekend?
It was busy. It was busy. The city was very proud. It was crowded, but they did a great job. They had, I think, the traffic flowed pretty well because I had a really close friend of mine staying at Caesars, so I went
Mhm.
by there 3 times to pick him up and to do things, and it took a while to get in there, but I mean, traffic flowed pretty well. It was relatively chilly here, like 40s at nighttime, so it wasn't like you were hanging out a lot outside for the most part.
Mhm.
Restaurants and things were busy. City was busy. So I think the city did a great job. I think for sure the Super Bowl will come back sooner than later because it's the ideal place for it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that last night after the Chiefs won. I was like, "Oh, to go out and celebrate your victory in Las
Oh,
Vegas, like that's just the cat's pajamas, right? That's the tops of the tops entertainment. That just
yeah.
had to be amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. So that was good. I'm trying to think what else. They had tons of pretty much typical Super Bowl events all over the city. So
Mhm.
it was just packed city, and the city is used to it because they have so many large conventions here, anyways.
Yeah,
So
it's totally wired. It's the
yeah,
infrastructure's already there
oh,
for a huge, huge event.
yeah,
And they
absolutely.
just, they're obviously in very close practice because they just had the Grand Prix there. They just had
For my
the
F1, yeah.
Formula One, F1.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
they're coming off of that, which just happened. So they're
yeah,
infrastructure wise, they're ready to rock.
yeah, yeah. Now, did you pay attention to the halftime show? What were your thoughts on the halftime show?
Okay, I didn't like it. So
Okay.
I love the halftime show. I always can find something good in it, but I wasn't super into it. I was wondering if Ludacris was gonna come out, and he did, and I
Yeah.
that to me was the highlight. Also, Alicia Keys, who I
Mhm.
adore, that was a highlight, and who's a San Diegan here, part of the year with her family. So that was awesome.
Mhm.
Um, but I thought the roller skates were cool. I thought some of the choreography was kind of cool, but it didn't give me that high energy vibe that I've gotten from other,
Okay.
I mean, there's like Lady Gaga, and there's last year was the, 50th anniversary of rap and hip hop. And that was awesome. But I don't
Well,
know. I wasn't that electrified by it. What about you?
I enjoyed it. I particularly enjoyed the cameos. Like you said, Ludacris, Little John was phenomenal.
Hmm.
I really love her when she came out with the guitar solo. That was phenomenal.
Oh, that's right. I love her. I forgot
Yeah.
about her coming out. Yeah.
Yes, he was good. Alicia Keys was good. Jermaine Dupri got an appearance. Will I Am. I like how they had so many great guest appearances. That was cool. I love the roller skates because it's hard to roller skate and sing.
It is hard to just roller skate at all. That was impressive. Also,
Yeah.
I didn't know Usher was so jacked.
Yeah.
His, like, body, I was like, "Whoa, Usher, you've been lifting the weights." Like,
Yes, he's
he's
putting the
just
work
like
in. So
yeah,
he
he's
did that.
putting work in.
He did like some of his slow jams, which was pretty cool. Like he did You Got It Bad, he did Superstar. So he covered a lot of his discography. I thought they could have turned his mic up a little bit in the beginning. It was hard to hear him at first.
It
So
was hard to hear. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
lower, I agree.
That'd be one area of improvement. But I mean, props to Usher and Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, which he represented. So I was pleased with it. Now, if we were thinking about overall Super Bowl performances, which one, if you think back to all the ones you've seen, what's your favorite?
I think Lady Gaga was the best.
Mm.
I thought she just crushed it from starting on the rooftop and coming down, and I thought she was phenomenal. That was my
Yeah.
most recent favorite. I'm not thinking I'm just that's the first one that comes to mind. What about you?
I think Michael Jackson was at the Rose Bowl back in 93 or
Yeah. See,
94. That's
I
like,
have no memory of that. I have
we
0
we'll send you a
memory.
YouTube clip. We'll send you a YouTube clip of that.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
I thought the 50th anniversary of hip hop, which was 2 years ago in LA with Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, like all of that was one of my favorite ones. Last year was Rihanna.
It was 2 years ago, you're
Yeah.
right.
Last year
Oh
was
my
Rihanna.
gosh, I forgot about Rihanna.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the 50th anniversary of hip hop was 2022, you're right. That was spectacular. It
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
good.
That's probably top 2 up there. Prince in
Mhm.
the Rain in Miami was phenomenal when he did that one. So, those are my favorites. But they kind of went to after the whole Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson issue, they went
Mhm.
to more of the celebrity legend, what they call them, legacy rock acts. And now they're kind of coming back
Mm.
around because they know what people want. So thought it was
Yeah.
cool. Um, I'm happy, Taylor Swift made it there. It's so funny. Like, some people, there's so many haters. Like, oh, I hate Taylor Swift as part of it. But I'm like, it's cool. It's cool.
So
It's
dumb.
exposing the NFL to a totally new audience, which is great for the NFL. You
Also,
know?
let's just peel away some things on this. It's just 2 people in a new relationship and they're in love. That's it. It's so simple. Like, peel away the stardom of it all and the famous stuff of it all. It is just 2 people in a new relationship supporting each other and making out. Like, just enough with the rest of it. Who cares? Like, think about if you can think about a relationship that you've been in and, like, the first 6 months, how exciting they were, and, you showed up for them and they showed up for you, and that's all it is, people. Like, it's just 2 people that, like, are like, they're in the honeymoon period of the relationship and they're showing up for each other. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
it's not like it doesn't have to be about anything else. It's just, let's just let these people be people and be in a relationship and be happy. Why can't all you need is love? Like, why can't we just be
mhm.
happy for 2 people in love? I think it's a beautiful thing. And they've
You're
got it on display. I think it's beautiful.
you're preaching to the choir here. So, enough
Yeah.
said. We'll let Manny drop the mic with that moment right there. Now, let's get to the commercials. The obvious
Mhm.
winner was our Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
Oh my gosh, that was
That
so
was
funny.
phenomenal. Who were the guest appearances in that one? You have Matt Damon,
Uh-huh.
you
Tom
have
Brady.
Tom Brady,
You had
you
Kid Leroy, what is that guy's name? I'm
yeah,
not
and
I'm
the
not
kid
cool enough.
Kid Leroy, the younger fella, Kid
Yeah,
Leroy,
yeah, yep.
yeah, J-Lo.
J-Lo.
Who else was in there? That was it, right?
There was another guy, but I didn't know who he was. The guy that was in the sound booth with J-Lo, which was hilarious. It
Okay.
was great. It was great. It wasn't my favorite, I'll say that.
Oh, okay.
It was a little too bro-y for me. Like, I'm not into, like, "Yo, bro," it's just not my jam.
Mhm.
I did totally identify with JLo's face where she's like, "We talked about this." Like, it's just I think anybody in a relationship can just identify with, like, their spouse or their partner just stepping out
Right.
and doing something, and you're just giving them that look like, "We talked about that." I
Uh,
totally identify with that. I mean, my husband does that to me a lot and vice versa. I just thought that was hilarious. It
'Cause it
was
was
really funny.
also a little bit of a playoff of Good Will Hunting too, so they kinda
Mm,
did back and forth or whatever, which that's a great
yeah,
movie. Well, if
yeah.
that one was not your favorite, what was your favorite?
My favorite was the Mountain Dew one with Aubrey Plaza. I
Oh,
just I love her, and I think if you know her personality, she's not a highly caffeinated person,
mhm,
and
mhm.
and her whole thing was just, like, her same monotone voice the whole time. I thought it was great. I thought it was really funny, And I love that she reunited with her office star towards the end. I thought that was great. But I will say this, I talked to a client this morning and he's a chief marketing officer for a company. So he's like, this is his wheelhouse. So I asked him and he gave a really interesting description. He said, it felt to me like it was just a bunch of awesome celebrities that they totally missed the creativity. It's like a misappropriated celebrity creativity. He thought like there's these great celebrities and nobody was creative because they didn't want to get canceled or they
Yeah.
didn't want to do something they weren't supposed to do because the stage is so big, the
Hmm.
risks are so high. You
They
get
played
these
it
great
safe.
celebrities, but then you can't really go as creative as you want, which bums me out because
Yeah.
I think they could have all the commercials could have pushed the envelope a little bit further in terms of creativity. Do you think that or no?
Yeah, they played it safe. I do
Mhm.
think it was very ironic. They had the Rob Gronkowski's field goal thing, and in the previous commercials, that Carl Weathers, who passed away last week,
I
and so they did a
know.
little dedication to him at the end, which I thought was cool. But that
Yeah.
commercial kind of hit a little harder because of the fact that he was coaching him. He was in the commercials. That was probably my second favorite one, I would say.
That's good. I like that. I like the Beyonce one, my second favorite one.
Beyonce with the Verizon, that was well played too. Yes.
Yeah, and I love that guy. That guy's been in Veep. He's been in all the things too. So
Yeah.
he's kind of like the perfect like assistant or chief
Yeah.
assistant or whatever he was. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yes, and I saw another commercial, I think it was late, where they had the cast of Suits that were in it too. There was a late one.
Yes, that was great. I thought that was a good one too.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
another because I just watched Suits and I really liked it. They had, like they had they had all the characters and Donna was at the end, which was very, very well done. So,
Yeah,
those
I thought that
commercials,
yeah, they were
um,
fine. They were fine. I would say like overall they were just meh. They were kind
yeah.
of bland. But
If we take our last 2 minutes and make a prediction, who do you want or who do you predict it will be the halftime performer next year
oh
for the Super
no.
Bowl? The Super Bowl's in New Orleans. Who do you think will be at halftime then?
Ooh. I don't know who it will be, but I think it's gonna be a mashup. Like, I don't think it's gonna be they're gonna bill it as one person. I think they'll bill it as 2 or 3 people.
Hmm,
So,
okay.
I don't know if I can make an exact prediction of the person, but I think it will be a mashup. That's my gut what my gut instinct says, because there's so much great music in New Orleans and surrounding New Orleans, and Atlanta is right there with all those great musicians too. As becoming like the next musical hub, right? So I feel like they're going to have access. I mean, obviously Vegas has access too, but
Yeah,
I do really quick before we go on to yours. I have to file. Well, let's hear yours, and then I'm gonna file a grievance before we hang
okay. I
out.
think Taylor Swift next year.
Oh, that's. I feel like it might be the year after.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
That's a good one.
I
What's your
think Tay
grievance?
Tay Tay 26. Tay Tay 26.
Yeah, swizzle. Go ahead. What's your grievance?
Okay, here's the grievance I'd like to file. They had and I love Reba McEntire, but they had Reba McEntire singing the national anthem, and
Mhm.
she did a wonderful job, but I was bummed about that because I was like, "You're in Las Vegas. You have access to the top, top, top people to sing, the national anthem." And don't get me wrong, Reba is a top, top, top person,
Yeah.
but I just thought it might be somebody different. Like, I just it was I don't know. I wasn't
Mhm.
expecting her, and I'm glad she did it, but I thought it would be somebody else. That's my
Mm,
grievance. I was
okay.
filing a grievance.
We'll share it with the committee, and we'll see who
Mhm.
they get for next
Put
year in New
the
Orleans.
suggestion box, yeah.
We'll put that in the suggestion box.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our mini for the week. I love this conversation. Great idea, Mandy. Make sure everyone you share this podcast with anyone who you think could benefit. Subscribe, rate, review, all the things. And we will see you next week for our next mini. Take care,
See you
everyone.
next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.